Good morning again here. Wednesday, January 20th, still page 144 and 145. Still dealing with adjectives. I promise we're going to be on it all week, and that's okay. Remember the answer, what kind, which one, how many, how much about the nouns? And those are the ones that describe the nouns, just like we're used to here. The blue car. What kind of rope? The long rope. Which week? Last week. How many seconds? 1 second. So on and so forth. Now, as you probably saw in the title up here, we're dealing with adjectives after be. And here's what I mean by be. Be is a verb that we went through way earlier, and it's not really an action verb. It's what we call the state of being. What I mean by that is like this sentence: I am. Now, is that it? 3 letters for a whole sentence? Is that really a sentence? Whoever did something, I. What I do, am. Yeah, it's got a subject and a predicate. It's got a subject and a verb here in this case. What did you do? I am. So again, you can't say it's an action verb. It's just simply a verb. Again, that's a state of being. I mean, it just is. And be can actually come in a lot of different forms. If it's second person, you'd say you are. If it's third person, he, she, it is. Or plural, we are. Past tense, was and were. Again, I know we went through a lot of that way back when in like September, but you're going to see these am, is, are, was, were. You're going to see those a lot in today's lesson because today we're used to adjectives coming before the nouns, but today adjectives we're going to find out can come after. Yes, a little bit of review from last week too, but take a look at this. We say this: your house is large. Well, what is large describing? You say which house? The large house. Yep. You could say your large house, but in this case, they just simply said your house is large. Large still describes house. It just in this case goes back to describe it. That insect is tiny. Wait, which insect? The tiny insect. And I know it doesn't say that in a sentence, that tiny insect. However, you still know that tiny goes back to insect to describe or modify that noun. Which insect? Tiny insect. Tiny is the adjective. Officially, if we want to get technical, these are actually called predicate adjectives. However, we're just going to call them adjectives for now because that's truly what they are. I remember going through this one last week. We have all these different adjectives at the end of a sentence. Not before the noun, however, they still describe the noun. The weather is hot. What is the weather? Hot. It's a hot weather. The shirt is yellow. Which shirt? Yellow shirt. So on and so forth. I think you got this down pretty well. Again, I know it's review from last week, and it went pretty well last week. I just didn't want to lose this or have you mistake this because the adjective doesn't always have to come right before the noun. It can come after. And if you notice, remember when I said there's a lot of is, are, was, were? That's a special verb be. That can be a clue to say, hey, the adjective is probably coming after the noun. Well, guess what? You have a lot of was, is, are, were, different things like that. Is all the special verb be in there. And it also underlines the noun. It underlines the noun. You just simply need to find the adjective that describes that noun. And yep, the adjective is going to come after the noun or pronoun, the subject. The class was curious about eggs. What was the class? Curious. The curious class. So curious is the adjective here. Carmen is familiar with chicken. Which Carmen? Familiar Carmen. Don't call Carmen chicken. She's not chicken. She's familiar. The familiar Carmen. Carmen's hens are beautiful. Which hens? The beautiful hens. Those are all the adjectives that go back and describe the nouns, just like this shows you here. That's your English assignment for today, guys. I want to wish you Lord's blessings to you to praise your Savior.